Hello, can everybody hear us?
Howdy ho. He's magnetized.
Howdy ho.
Oh, is it?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Dude, this model's sick.
Isn't it cool? I love giant robots.
I think ghost kills are gonna be pretty good.
Except fighting other Tau.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. You can lift up the helmet.
Pump up the volume a little bit.
That's sick. You see it?
Oh, that's dope. Oh, more. 1473. Yeah, go ahead and share us your Juggalo conversion. Is he a Juggalo?
A gigolo.
Well, Juggalo is someone who likes Insane Clown Posse.
Oh. Okay.
So that's,
Even better,
high quality member of society right there.
I guess.
Make sure to be speaking at like signals level. Like, hey! 'Cause that's how you
Hello, everybody.
Yeah, you see your clipping. That's exactly what
Hello, my baby. Hello, my darling. Want to click that hyperlink? Oh, that's
cool.
sick. What did you use for the head?
That looks really cool. I like it. I like it a lot. You're quiet.
You're quiet.
This is such a cool model.
Hey, everybody, give us a sound check on that now. We're still adjusting the audio.
Yep. Ordering some new mics today, so hopefully that'll work.
So yeah, that's funny. All we did was move the microphone a little closer.
Like a boss. Is there supposed to be another one of these on the other side?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Get wrecked. It's too loud.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, try now.
Alright. How about now?
Check 1 2 3 1 2 3.
I'm good. Oh god, it's too loud, dude.
We've got a new mic.
We are sharp.
Not Magic Mike. Although I have been going to the gym, so maybe soon.
This is.
Have you seen that movie?
No. Why would I see that
I was
movie?
gonna say.
It's actually, like, if you skip past all, like, the stripper scenes, it's, like, a really good movie about, like, brotherhood and, like, drugs in the sex industry.
I heard it's like terrible. Like it's just like a very terrible story.
Oh, it's not very good, no.
Yeah.
No.
Mr. Inquisitor, thank you for the vote of confidence. I'm going to hit the gym even harder tomorrow.
Yeah.
We're going to work together to make that dream come true.
Ugh.
Yep, this is where we're gonna keep the audio if everyone's cool with it. Yep, everyone seems fine. I love how everyone's like, it's fine, it's too fine, it's fine. Okay, 10:55, we got 5 minutes.
Right on.
5 minutes. 5 minutes.
How was Vegas?
Vegas was good. We snapped some pictures of the hall. It's massive. Did you see the pictures on Facebook?
No, I saw the pictures on the.
Way to go. Way not to follow our Facebook page, Mariana.
I
see how.
I help monitor the
See how it is.
I'm glad the sound is good. I'm surprised so many people have actually seen Magic Mike. I'm just assuming you guys are married and your wife made you watch it. I can't think of another reason. Or your girlfriend made you go.
Wait, didn't you read the Twilight books
I was going to, just to see what all the fuss was about.
before you judge everybody else?
And I never did. I never even opened it.
Oh, okay.
Because, I mean, it was like so ridiculously popular. And I was like, okay, there's got to be some merit to it because it's so popular. And I just couldn't bring myself to do it. I bought another vampire comic instead where the vampires were like scary.
Oh, it was The Notebook. That's what it was. You
I read
bring
The Notebook.
Yeah.
I read The Notebook and I cried like a little bitch. My friend was like, she's like, you're going to cry? I was like, I don't cry. I cried so bad. I was like, it's beautiful.
It's so amazing. I still have not been Notebook, thank goodness.
Refrain from those big outbursts because I just had to ride the like eclipse super hard. Like,
Yeah, who doesn't want more BS in their life, Mr. Inquisitor, you know? I don't get enough of it. Ignore's cover is just like everywhere now. Dark Angels Ravenwing players were like, we are amazing for like a month. Now
Yeah.
they're like, oh.
Sad face.
Oh no. Oh, you had to trade. You saw Magic Mike and then you got to bring your wife to
That makes sense.
James Bond. All right, it's a barter system. I can understand that.
I'm excited for the new James Bond.
I would trade a Magic
sick.
Mike for 2 James Bond movies. I think it's fair.
Maybe.
Oh, I know. Grey goes, as an orc player, these are sad days. These are dark times. Orcs are just getting made irrelevant. It's really tough.
Cries with stuffed dread.
Yeah, poor orcs. They need some help.
There's a lot of codexes that need a lot of help.
Yeah, Dark Eldar need help.
Orcs,
I think it's a tough
Tyranids.
call if Dark Eldar or orcs is worse.
Tyranids need help.
Yeah, Codex Flyrant has one viable.
Yeah.
Molochs and Flyrants are pretty much it. Even though Malanthrope, who was so amazing, is getting made irrelevant now.
But they don't even like win tournaments anymore.
They won the LVO this year.
Oh, that's true.
That was pretty impressive.
That's true. But that's before all the craziness. Now we've got all sorts of new goodies. Oh, this is cool.
Yeah, we'll talk about the Tau Codex in depth when we get into the show. I think there's a lot to like and a lot to be disappointed with in equal measures. I'm gonna pull up the show notes.
Yeah. Dairy 11B. No.
Yeah, he's, Hey, what's up, everybody? Thank you so much for joining us at Signals from the Frontline, your every Monday and Friday podcast on iTunes, videocast live on Twitch, and also on YouTube. Thanks for joining us, as always. Brought to you by FrontlineGaming.org, your home for 10 to 25% off hobby goodies, the fat mats, and where you can find information about what's going on in the hobby, get tickets to awesome tabletop gaming events. My name is Reese.
And my name is Frankie.
Oh, yeah.
Giggity giggity.
We got a lot to talk about today, so we're going to get right into it. Big news. GW announces that Horus Heresy will be released coming up in November. Pre-orders November 7th. Product will ship November 14th. Plastic, 30K goodies. My God, if you had socks on, they've now been blown off. This is going to be a big release.
Dude, do you remember when GW first started doing these videos? It was like a day before the release or like 2 days before the release. And you had no idea what was going
It
on.
didn't say anything.
Now it's like, this is 2 weeks away?
Yeah.
And it's a nice production.
They're actually getting people hyped.
Gave you information about
Yeah.
it. Like, it's night and day. They're really stepping up their game, and I really enjoyed the video. It was really cool. I'm excited for 30K.
I'm mega excited, and I know all of you out there are going to be excited too. So get ready to send in your pre-orders to orders at frontlinegaming.org to take advantage of 25% off on that kit. It's going to be awesome. I think, Frankie, that GW is finally opening their eyes to the fact that you can get people excited about something and push it, make more sales, and also maybe Age of Sigmar wasn't as amazing as they hoped, and they're like, wow, 30K, that was our insurance policy. We really
Here we go. Let's cash in, boys.
hit them in the wallet. So get excited for that. I am pumped. This kit is rumored to come with all kinds of great stuff. 30K Marines, Terminators, a Contemptor Dread, all kinds of Praetors. It sounds really, really cool. I can't wait to get my hands on it myself.
Yeah, get your claws on them.
Let Papa Bear get his paws on it. Also, we've got a current pre-order special going now. This is going to be for the current pre-orders. If you go to Games Workshop's website, click on the pre-order section. Anything in there is eligible to trigger the extra 5% off or a 25% off in most cases discount off of GW's product. It also includes other products such as Privateer Press, Infinity, etc. Right now, the big exciting things that are up for pre-order are the new Tau Crisis Suits, the new Tau Commander, the Codex, as well as Warzone Damocles, the Kion section of the dual campaign release, which we just got Shadow Force Solak, which we'll talk about more later. So get those orders in. Do orders at frontlinegaming.org. Save yourself some money, or you can call in your order 888-781-5120. Frankie, what of the new pre-orders are you most excited about?
I'm excited for the new Commander. I think he looks
sick.
pretty cool.
I'm really pumped about the rules that allow him to become a flying monstrous creature.
Yeah, I think that'll be really good. It depends on what kind of special rules he has, of course. I mean, if he's a buff commander, that's not really going to help you out that much.
No.
I
He's a hunter killer when he has the flying.
Yeah,
he goes and fights himself.
give him some melta-guns or something, flies around, kills vehicles.
I mean, still,
Pretty cool.
mathematically, the best setup is still going to be Buffmander.
Yeah.
But it's cool to have some options, and I bet it'll be pretty good.
Yeah. And I mean, it makes him really a lot harder to kill.
Yeah, totally.
Hitting him on sixes, so.
Now, it's important to note he won't get Vector Strike. There's a lot of things he won't be able to do. He's just supposed to be like flying, basically. But he's going to be shooting you. So I'm excited. It'll be a little bit like Dawn of War, the video game, where the commander would fly around blasting you.
Yeah.
Instead of just sitting there going, shoot them, guys, shoot them, which is very effective also. Heavy Gear shows off some more of their Northern Faction miniatures. In this one, we have the Mountaineering Squad with a Leopard Gear, which is a new type of heavy gear for the Northern Faction. These guys look very cool.
They're mountaineers. They travel the peaks.
They actually do. In the
Do they really?
in the fiction of the game, the world has no ocean, so it's like imagine Earth but covered pretty much entirely in landmass. All the water's underground.
Oh, okay.
And so the northern hemisphere is mountainous, and the southern hemisphere is got a lot of like rainforests and jungles. So in the north, they do have mountains all over the place where these gears would come in handy. These guys look really cool. These are the new plastic gears that they've been making with the proceeds from the Kickstarter. I really dig them. They look great.
Definitely.
I am very excited to get my hands on some of these.
I mean, they look great, but the thing that would really top them off is like a plaid paint scheme with, some overalls, maybe a beard.
Because they're mountaineers.
Lumberjacks, baby.
Very funny. Maybe the pilot could be dressed that way. So at any rate, check this out. And as we've been saying, as soon as this game is released, after they've gone through making all the plastics, we will be covering it in depth. It's a really good game. It deserves some attention. Definitely have enjoyed this. I've enjoyed it since I was in high school. So.
Yeah, and we took part in their Kickstarter at the retailer level, so we should have a bunch of starter kits as soon as they start releasing them. So.
Absolutely. We were just in Vegas this previous weekend. We're doing some forward recon for the Las Vegas Open 2016. And we came back just so energized and excited about the event. Really pumped. It's going to blow people's minds. This hall it's so gargantuan. We have a picture of what you're looking at now if you're watching the show. If you're listening, close your eyes and let me take you on a journey of the imagination. It's astounding how big it is. When you walk in, your jaw drops, right, Frankie?
It was incredible. We just walked in, we're like, wow. We went from the barn to this.
Yeah, I mean, the journey has been just astounding. And because we got the same feeling when we walked into the hall for the LVO this year. It was 22,000 square feet.
Yeah.
And we walked in, we're like, oh my gosh, how are we going to fill this? And this year it's literally double the size. And we were just like, holy crap. But everything is going to be, the LVO 2015 was incredibly successful. It was awesome.
Yeah.
There was a couple things that could have been better. All those issues are going to be addressed. I mean, people are going to walk in and they are going to be blown away. The size, the scale, getting in and out is going to be so much easier. The hotel is nicer.
Yeah.
It's just going to be an incredible experience. We were so excited when we left. We were just buzzing. I mean, we just couldn't wait to get this thing going. It's going to be a spectacle. This is the same place where the Evo video game convention was held, the same exact hall. And this thing is a major production. So
Yeah.
people are going to be mega pumped. I mean, it's going to be a visual spectacle when you see that many gamers, that many games all in one hall. It's going to be incredible.
I am excited.
So make sure to get your tickets if you haven't already done so. Most of the 40K events are sold out. The team tournament is not. 30K is not. The Joust is not. And then we've got War Machine, Hordes, X-Wing, Drop Zone Commander, etc. There's a ton of stuff that there's still room in.
The Joust is going to be incredible.
I think it's going to be a
We
blast.
have so many people signed up for it.
We're going to have to run it in heats, actually,
Yeah.
because there's so many people signed up. And for those you don't know, the Night Joust, you bring a single knight and you fight till there's one knight standing. It's going to be awesome.
It's going to be so cool.
Right, we thought it'd be like, oh, it'll be 10, 15 people. It'll be something fun. There's like approaching 50 people signed up.
Yeah.
We're going to have people like line up into houses, you know? Like,
That would be cool.
yeah, like next year we should have people make banners and like fight for the glory of our house.
They should be forming like teams and stuff, like the Gladiators.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
What do you say?
It'll be really, really neat. So very excited for that. War Machine has some new releases. There are Crix Soul Trappers, Swamp Gobber River Raiders, the Extreme Feral Warpwolf for the Circle faction, and the Feral Brigand Warlord for the Minions faction. Specifically, the heck are they called? I can't remember.
Which ones?
Yeah, just a minion. They're the Pharaoh version of the minions.
Yeah.
Really cool. War Machine, great game, and they've been releasing some incredible new stuff. Which of these is your favorite, Frankie?
I don't like the Warpwolf.
You don't? I really
No.
that's my favorite.
He looks goofy, in my opinion.
They
Looks like the Pink Panther.
he kind of does a little bit, but they do extreme versions of current sculpts that they usually release as limited edition.
Yeah.
So this is the Warpwolf Extreme, so he's super big, but obviously they've brought him back into production. I think he's cool.
I like the Soul Trappers.
Yeah, see, a lot of the Crix stuff, I actually don't care for it.
Really? I think they look pretty cool.
Like, I love the faction of Crix. I like it. You know, it's a fun, evil faction.
Yeah.
But I don't care for the way a lot of them look. I love Circle, man. If you didn't play them, I would play them.
Yeah. Circle is amazing.
They're just so
a lot
cool,
of fun.
man. Yeah. I play dwarves, and they suck. If they didn't have Earthbreaker, my Colossal, I would win like 1 in 5 games. Like, they're really not good.
No.
I just like them. They look so goofy.
Yeah, but War Machine is a great game. If you guys haven't tried it out, make sure to try it out because it is a lot of fun.
And we will be increasing our coverage of War Machine Hordes. This is actually a really good time to make the announcement, and we'll be making this more, but we are looking for regular War Machine and Hordes contributors to Frontline Gaming. So if you play War Machine, you play Hordes, you're passionate about it, you enjoy writing or producing content oriented towards those games, please reach out to me at contact@frontlinegaming.org, and you could earn a place on our writing staff for Frontline Gaming. And reach out to me and we'll talk to you about all the different ways we can structure it. But we really would love to have more War Machine and Hordes content on the site.
Yep.
Puppets War shows off some awesome new walkers. They've been teasing this on their Facebook page for quite some time now, and they've released them. And they are very, very cool looking walkers. Kind of a generic. They don't really, to my knowledge, even have a specific name other than Infantry Walker. But they come in, they're modular, so you can make them look a number of different ways. They have a 28mm scale infantry model next to them. To give you an idea of the scale, they're freaking huge.
Yeah.
I mean,
Massive.
these look like they're Dread Knight to Imperial Knight size.
I think they're Imperial Knight size.
Yeah, I mean,
the guy goes up to his knee, so
yeah, the
it might
infantry
even be
model.
a Storm Surge.
Yeah,
size,
maybe a
so-
Storm Surge is probably a safe bet.
Yeah.
But they look really cool. Definitely check these out if you're looking for an alternative model to go into your collection.
Yep.
We have another release from Toughest Girls in the Galaxy. This is another Battle Nun, a sexy Battle Nun. This one is Lupita, and I love the models. I mean, I'm a big fan. I just got my Toughest Girls in the Galaxy models. You'll be seeing me update a hobby blog as I put them together and paint them.
This model is incredible.
Yeah, they're really, really good. I mean, yeah, it's a sexy nun with guns, which is a little bit silly, but who cares? It's cool.
Super anime.
Yeah, they have a range of, there's like 4 of them now that are all in that kind of theme. And
Yeah.
You could do an alternate Sisters of Battle. Sisters of Battle army. Nuns Gone Wild.
Nuns Gone Wild.
In space. Also, we're really, really excited to announce this. Please make sure to check out our very first narrative video battle report. This is our first shot at doing one of these. So please give us any critical feedback. We're very open-minded. We know there's a lot of ways we can improve it, but it's pretty impressive. If we do so ourselves, we're really proud of it. We really want to thank Mariana, who worked very, very hard on making this happen. All the editing and the special effects and sound effects, that's all her. The voice acting is all of us. I think, Frankie, you have a talent for it. You brought that commissar to life, man.
Good. You were there.
You did a really. I'm not even kidding. You did. You have a really good, heroic voice. Yeah. I was impressed. I was the Hellhound pilot, and my was pretty bad.
I'll be your hero, baby.
Thanks. I blew up. I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but I didn't last very long. Make sure to check it out. It's only 10 minutes. Really fun. It's supposed to be celebrating the light side of the hobby, the fluff, the narrative aspect of it, where you're forging the narrative. It's not about tactics as much. So it's kind of, we're trying to do something different with this.
Yeah, and when you watch it, make sure to go into it knowing that it's a narrative, right? It's not really like a whole battle report, but it's a narrative. So we're telling a story. We're portraying a story. So. And
we will continue to do our traditional long-form video battle reports, and we are going to be bringing back the short-form tactics-oriented video battle reports. We've just been trying to get caught up with everything, but we will have basically 3 different offerings. The full-length video battle report, where you can see everything. Short-form video battle report, we just get the gist of it, the tactics, and then you'll get the narrative as well. So it's going to be really fun. We're also working on a new news show, and we'll give you more information as that develops, but we think it's going to be quite popular. So check it out, and let us know what you liked, what you didn't like, and we will be sure to adapt.
Yeah.
Also, be sure to join us on Twitch tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for a live game of 40K. And we're really excited. We got a guest. Frankie's going to talk about the guest. It's his Masters game, so this is a highly competitive game for our Masters League down here in San Diego. And we're going to be giving away a Ghost Keel new Tau kit. Look at this little guy.
Oh, he's so cute.
I love this kit. I love it so much.
Yeah, it's amazing.
His little head pops up. You can see the pilot. You can magnetize all the different weapon options, which we usually do. But at any rate, we will be giving away a Ghost Keel to somebody that is watching the show tomorrow. If you're a subscriber, you get triple odds of winning. If you are not a subscriber, you can still win. Just make sure you're tuned in, and we will pick someone randomly.
Yep, and this will be a constant, or the new thing going forward on Tuesdays. We will be giving away a new kit. Subscribers will get triple the enters. Everybody else will get like a single one. So make sure to subscribe if you guys are really interested in getting these new kits. And we appreciate the subs, because it really helps us to keep going and keep the studio going and all that stuff. So
yeah, thank you so much for your support. And I gotta tell you, the Ghost Keel kit is so cool. I'm a huge anime manga fan. My whole life, right? Voltron. My love affair started with Voltron and Robotech when I was just a little kid. And these giant robots, the Storm Surge, which you can see here also, they're so cool. I mean, you cannot argue. GW does some weird things that we don't understand, but you cannot argue that they put out stellar kits. And we're really excited to play the new Tau book. And as soon as it drops this coming Friday night, Saturday morning, you will be seeing content about the new Tau Codex from us. But make sure to tune in tomorrow night, Tuesday, and it'll be Corn Demonkin, right?
Yeah, he's playing a Corn Demonkin list in our Masters League. It's 2,000 points. I'm playing my White Scars Battle Company, and I'm throwing in a Calexis. So it takes me up to almost 2,000 points.
Yeah, just 1990.
Yeah, so really excited. He plays a nasty Corn Demonkin list with a lot of hounds, I believe, from what he was telling me. He's sending in the list today. I'll write up an article, tell you guys my thoughts, what I think are going to be challenging for him, what are going to be challenging for me. And we'll go forward from there. So
yeah, we'll have a pre-game article that'll be up today.
Yep.
And then we're also going to be doing a post-game wrap-up on Wednesday to talk about the game, to give our thoughts on what went right, what went wrong, what we could have done differently, which dice rolls were critical, and then just make it a little bit more immersive and more fun for the games.
Sweet, I'm excited.
All right, upcoming ITC events. We actually do have an ITC tournament this weekend. It's Halloween weekend, so most people aren't going to be doing it. However, those Canadians, we love our buddies up in Canada with their funny money.
Their funny money.
Those loonies and toonies. I love it. We have Tournament OP, the Gold Teeth Tournament in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, on Halloween Day. You guys have a spooky good time.
I hope you get extra points for like dressing up.
I think that should be mandatory.
That would be amazing.
And I'm going to a wedding this Halloween.
You're going to a wedding on the 31st.
Halloween, I know. My really, really good friends, Neville and Christine, are getting married, and I'm excited to go to the wedding.
Yeah.
They're having a Halloween wedding. I mean,
like, you're supposed to dress up, right?
I don't really know. I'm just going to wear a suit. I'm going to bring a toy gun. So just in case they go, you didn't dress up, I'll be like, shaken, not stirred. Dun, 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 dun. It's James Bond, in case I didn't sell it well enough. All right, rumors. The rumors section is gathered from the web and is not in any way information we receive from any manufacturer, nor is it necessarily accurate. This section of the podcast is intended for entertainment purposes only. My God, there are so many new rumors out there. We got bombarded with new material over the weekend.
Yeah.
All very, very exciting stuff. Tau rumors, we'll jump into that first. So, I'm going to ask your opinion on this, Frankie. I'll share mine. It's basically the exact same book. We all were kind of hearing that was the case. I was hoping it wasn't true, but it's essentially the old book with a little bit of new material added on. There were a few little changes, like things like riptides can now come in units, which is really cool. Very powerful, obviously. Ups and downs, you know. Yeah. You get them into assault, and then actually riptides are actually not that bad in assault, especially when they Nova charge their shield.
Yeah.
It's basically the same thing, which the positive to that is if you already have a Tau army, you've got a Tau army. You're not going to have to really change anything except add in some of the new units if you want to. The downsides is that the units that are crappy are still crappy. You know, it's kind of a bummer. You're going to be seeing basically the same stuff that we've been seeing. Tau armies aren't going to change that much. Now, the benefit is that we did get a bunch of formations, a lot of which I'm very excited about. I think they look great.
Yeah.
And then what everybody is talking about is the Tau Decurion style detachment, basically the detachment of detachments, that is the new cool thing, the new black in 40K, is really good. It looks very, very good. Frankie and I were talking about this earlier, and whereas some of the Decurion detachments have some pretty heavy tax units, like, for example, Khorne Demonkin, where, yeah, you may not even use it because those 150 points possessed, not getting access to some of the really good units very easily, such as the Helldrake, really doesn't, in my opinion, doesn't make it worth it.
No.
But the Tau Decurion style detachment, it's all good. There's no tax. It's, you know, it's like a commander. Rumors are it's a commander. You could take a Kadra Fireblade, 3 to 6 units of either Fire Warriors or Kroot, and then like one heavy unit. It could be a Storm Surge or a Hammerhead or a unit of Broadsides, and then like a stealth unit, like Pathfinders, and then like a Crisis Suit unit. So it's like, it's all stuff you probably already have. It's all stuff that's good. And then the benefits, you lose, obviously, objective secured, but you gain, multiple units can benefit from the same Marker Light buffs.
Yeah.
That's powerful.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Really good.
They all have to fire at the same time, at the same unit, so you have to declare it. And like Frankie was saying, you could overkill a unit.
Yeah.
But you get so much more force multiplication out of those Marker Lights. And then if 3 or more units fire at the same target, they get +1 BS. Obviously, for troop units, that's extremely good. It makes Fire Warriors really benefit from that.
Yeah.
Some of the other benefits of it are that in the Hunter Cadre, which is like the core formation you have to take, units get 12-inch supporting fire, and then units within 12 inches of the commander can run or flat out and shoot. That's very powerful.
That's really good, especially the flat out on vehicles.
Yeah.
That's super good.
Well, I mean, think about like things like stealth suits or crisis suits with fusion guns.
Yeah.
You know, or Fire Warriors. You know, they can, if you need to back up, you can, you know, move back, run back, and shoot. So there's a lot of really strong benefits. I think most people will be taking this over a CAD. Tau struggle with mobility and taking objectives anyway, so they don't really lose anything.
No.
You know, like, I think that this is going to be the kind of the default, sort of like the Decurion detachment for Necrons. I think more people will take it than not.
Yeah.
Some of the other changes that we've noticed so far, rumored changes, there's new weapons, the Destroyer missiles on the Storm Surge, and maybe other units will be able to get them. But right now, the only unit that I know of off the top of my head that gets them is the Storm Surge. If you use a Marker Light that becomes Strength D, that's pretty good.
Not half bad.
That is
Not
pretty good. The Storm Surge on the first turn can fire out a ton of Strength D shots. That's not bad.
No. I mean, my initial reaction is kind of disappointed, right? I mean, if you're a Tau player, it's always exciting to get your new book with like new rules and stuff like that, see what they changed, see what they didn't change, all that. So it is kind of a letdown for Tau players that like, oh yeah, we got the exact same book with like a few minor changes. That's kind of stinky. But you get a lot of really cool formations, which are what are really opening up these codexes, like the Space Marine Codex and all that stuff. I mean, all these new formations that are coming out really give you a chance to play with units that maybe you wouldn't have played with in the first place. So I'm really excited for Tau.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I love Tau. I love the concept of Tau.
Yeah.
I am disappointed because Tau are good. They're a good army, but they're going to they're pretty much going to function the same way they did before. I think, obviously, we need to get the rule book and we need to try it. But they're still going to be really good against the things they're really good against. Like an army like Orcs gets devastated by Tau. You'll win 1 in 10 games, right?
Yeah.
Tyranids that are not Flyrants, which I guess that exists maybe somewhere, really going to struggle. So there's certain armies that are just going to get creamed even harder by them.
Yeah.
And then they still don't have an answer for the thing that steamrolls them, which is Death Star assault melee armies.
Well, I mean, like you were talking about earlier, the destroyer missiles will be really good against those Death Stars.
If you can roll them 6s, yes, I agree.
A couple storm surges, like we were talking about, they could charge in, do some stomps, maybe even.
If you can roll them 6s.
Yeah. I mean, with 2 of them, you get D3 stomps each.
Yes,
I mean,
true.
you have pretty good chances of at least getting 1/6, which will devastate one of those units.
Yep.
And then, not to mention, with their Decurion style, you could choose your entire army to shoot at that Death Star. And yeah, the Death Star will probably be invisible and have like some crazy saves, but with all that firepower, you'll probably do a little bit of damage. So
yeah, it's just it's silly, right? The problem is the Death Star mechanic.
yeah.
The problem is the reroll mechanic in 40K. That is just because it like the classic example for people who aren't too familiar with the way the math works. A 2-up reroll save is not twice as good as a 2-up save. It's 6 times as good.
Yeah.
So the math gets mega wonky. Like it starts to get exponentially harder to accomplish a task. That's why it's so OP. Is if you have an invisible Death Star where you're hitting them on 6s, and then you're wounding them on whatever, and then they've a 2-up save that they can reroll, and then they feel no pain. It takes like no joke, thousands of wounds to do anything to them. It's stupid, and Tau really don't have the ability to punch through that. The D missiles can do it, but it's one shot, and you better hope you get it off.
Yeah.
And then after that, like you said, you have to like run storm surges into them and hope they stomp them again. It's like, I hope I roll 6s.
Yeah.
And if you don't, you lose. So for Tau, they're going to function very similar to the way they functioned before.
Yep.
They'll be really good against the armies they're good against. They'll be really weak against the armies they're weak against. And that's just, it's just kind of like business as usual. And the other thing that really disappoints me, and I think is a humongous missed opportunity from Games Workshop, is that units like the Tau Flyer, which you see here, you're still never going to see it on the table.
No.
It's just still going to stink. And a lot of the units like Vespid and a lot of the units that are a little bit weaker, they're still not going to be on the table. You know, it's just they could have increased sales, moved more product if they would have just given them a little bit of a buff, or like we were talking about off camera, just lowered their points cost a little bit.
Yeah.
Now, some of the formations, since we're talking about it, I think really do accomplish the task of making less common units more popular. One of the ones that I really liked, it's a Ghost Keel 2 units of stealth suits. Stealth suits are widely considered to be underpowered. They're too expensive for a T3 unit. I agree. But in this formation, when they're near each other, they get ignored as cover. Right? You're talking about a bunch of things with high volume of shots and melta weapons, and that they can go off on their own, up a flank, and they're a self-contained unit that don't need any support. That's really good.
Yeah.
Now you're talking. Now that's a formation that makes sense. Another one that I really liked was it's 3 hammerheads and a skyray, and you just pick a point on the table. Everything within 6 inches of that point, so a 12-inch bubble, you get twin linked on.
So good.
So good, because one of the biggest complaints with hammerheads, legitimately, is with BS4, 1 in 3 times you fire your rail cannon, you miss.
Yep. And
So
that's all you got.
And then you're like, oh well, boomer. Well, see now, like we were just saying with rerolls, you go from a 2 and 3 chance of hitting to a 8 and 9.
Yeah.
It's a dramatic difference. You know, you're way more accurate. So I like it. I think that'll be really effective.
Which, you know, you brought up rerolls, and rerolls really do skew the averages and all that stuff. But there is really nothing more depressing than, like, in Drop Zone Commander, let's use that as an example. A lot of weapons have a single shot.
Yes.
And if you roll, granted, most of the time you're hitting on a 2.
Yes.
But that 1 turn, 2 turns that you roll that one is just like demoralizing.
Yes.
You're like, God.
Especially in a game like
Only I
Drop
had a
Zone.
reroll, you know?
Yeah, but then again, Dave, the creator of Drop Zone understands that the reroll makes it so that you almost never miss. You go
Yeah.
up to like a 97% accuracy, which is silly.
For sure.
You 3 in 100 times a miss. So it's like honestly, the real problem is the base 6 system. The D6 is not the number generator that we should be using. You should be using a D10 or D20.
Yeah.
Because then you could have a 9 and 10. Yeah, you hit on a 2 plus on a D10. Yeah. Now you have a 90% chance of hitting. You have a 10% chance of it's a reasonable. And then the odds of rolling snake eyes on D10 is 1 in 100 versus 1 in 36. So that's the real limiter, is that we're working on a base 6 system. Now, you know what? To be fair, I don't really mind rerolls to hit offensively so much. It's the defense. That's when you're just like, I just rolled all these dice and nothing happened.
I was twin linked. I was rerolling to wound, and you failed nothing. All right, that was fun. But could you imagine though, rolling like 30 D20s?
It's not that big of a deal. You do it in Infinity all the time. Yeah, I don't know. Like people are just used to D6s. They're easy to read. They're cheap.
Yeah,
I do understand.
Everybody has D6s.
Yeah, but then like in a video game, like in an RTS. You could any variability. You could have a range of numbers of whatever, and that's why you can have so much more fine tuning in balance, right? Because you have so much, you have such a wider range of variability within which to operate. So, the D6 is kind of the limiting factor, right? Yeah. Like how do you differentiate between a 2 plus and then anything better? Well, you have to reroll it. So,
you should just use a D4. Make it even worse.
Just flip a coin.
Yeah, flip a coin.
50-50.
I hit. I missed. All right.
You get 4 rerolls. Oh, great.
4 flips.
So at any rate, we will be going into depth on the Tau Codex. Great depth. We'll do the good, the bad, and ugly review. I've not been able to do those recently because it's just been too busy.
Yep.
Got back on track. Really excited for the Tau Codex. I'm pumped, man. I want to see more Tau on the table, just not when I'm playing against them with my orcs, because
that's a
sad day, man. I'm just like, oh, great.
Like, oh dear.
But on the more news fronts, we got bombarded with all kinds of new formations and detachments for Space Marines, specifically Raven Guard and White Scars. I am super mega excited about the Raven Guard formations and detachments. Yeah. One, because Raven Guard deserved to get thrown a bone. They sucked before this, let's be honest. Mm-hmm. With their new Decurion style detachment, the Talon Strike Force, and their formations, they go from crap to pretty dang good. And the way that it plays just speaks to me as a gamer. Like, it's all about trickery, deployment, shenanigans, movement, tricks, reserve tactics. I love it.
Yeah, you know, I'm really excited because I do think Raven Guard definitely needed some help, and I'm excited to see new formations and attachments and stuff coming out for all these different codexes. The only downside with it, in my opinion, is Space Marines really don't need anything right now. Like, Space Marines came out, they have a lot of formations, they have a lot of detachments. Bring out something else for like Eldar or Skitarii or Admech or Harlequins. I mean, bring out some more detachments and stuff for those people that definitely need it.
Well, Eldar are getting an entirely new army, and as the rumors indicate...
Yeah, that's true. The Forge World one.
Yeah, and I agree with you. But, you know, Space Marines are the poster boys. They sell more than everything else combined.
Definitely.
Get it. And I agree with you that I would love to see some of this kind of attention for like Dark Eldar. Some of the other armies. I'm excited because this means we'll get a little bit more variety with Space Marines. They're everywhere.
Yeah, and you're seeing like basically the same thing.
Right, now we're going to get some variety because this, especially this Raven Guard, the Talon Strike Force, it's super cool. It has an amazing command benefits, like amazing command benefit. Right. I argued that this could, the Battle Company getting free transports, it's probably is a little bit better, but this is very close in my opinion if you're a very tactical player. So they get extensive planning is their command benefit for their Decurion style detachment.
Yeah.
You have to be Raven Guard, and you get anything in reserves can come in on turn 1 on a 4+. That's crazy unto itself.
Super good.
You can re-roll the roll to choose deployment zones, mission, and to go first. Wow. That's kind of powerful.
That's a little bit.
That's a little good.
A little bit.
And then they can also choose to fail any morale check. That's awesome.
Really good.
And the thing that I really, really like about this, beyond the fact that just the way it plays, the mechanics, it's true to the background of Raven Guard.
Yeah.
They're sneaky, they use ambushes, all this cool stuff. all of their war gear. The war gear is a little underwhelming, to be fair, but it's very true to the fluff. Like the armor of shadows, a 2-up save, and you get stealth or shrouding.
Yeah.
They have an extra special jump pack. You know, they get all these like a special sniper rifle for a scout sergeant. It's stuff that makes sense for Raven Guard. Very, very cool. Their warlord traits are really, really neat. There's one that you can. This one is insane. You can add or subtract 1 to the end of game roll.
That's the Harlequin one. Oh no, the Harlequin one was even crazier.
I know theirs is even better, but I mean everybody knows, like, oh, I need the game to end. Yep. I need the game to go on. Well, let me increase the odds by 16.6%. Pretty good.
That's really cool.
Yeah,
I like it.
I love it, man.
Yeah.
But and of course you can't choose your warlord trait, unfortunately. I take that one every time, but it would be really cool. Some of the formations in there are so neat. Like there's one where it's 2 storm talons and a land speeder. And the land speeder chooses a unit in 18 inches, and you reroll to wound or armor pin for the rest of the game.
What's really cool is it seems like the Raven Guard are getting a lot of these things where units will work together to
buff
make
each other
better.
Which I love that.
It's really cool. Like scouts, like marking people for them or
escorting them on the table.
Really cool.
Yeah.
So I'm ecstatic for the Raven Guard one. I think it's going to be really cool. I think their detachment's pretty good. I think their formations are better. So
yeah, the detachment special rules with the rerolling to go first on it, that's really powerful.
Yeah,
I'm excited now. You give up OBSEC for that. You obviously don't get free transport vehicles, but I think you'll be okay with that. Yeah. And the other thing to note is that any of these formations can be taken by any chapter tactics, but the detachment, the Talon Strike Force, which gives you the rerolls and coming out of reserves on turn 1, that only can be taken by Raven Guard. Which when you combo it in with the Vanguard and Scout formation, where the Vanguard choose when they pass their morale check or their reserve check. Yeah. Turn 1 assault with Vanguard veterans. That's really powerful.
Not half bad.
You combo that with Skyhammer Annihilation Force, you could be doing some work.
Yeah.
And then onto the White Scars. They got the same treatment. It'll be really neat when all the chapters get this because it'll be very characterful. Yeah. Although Ultramarines will probably just get the Gladius Strike Force. That's probably for them. Yeah. But I can't wait to see what they do with Salamanders and Iron Hands and all that. I think it'd be really fun. The White Scars Decurion style detachment it's very cool. It's very good, but I don't think you're going to take it over the Battle Demi Company. No. Some of the benefits, the command benefits for the Decurion style detachment, the whole thing, is reroll failed initiative test or hit and run. Obviously, extremely.
That's bananas.
It's
bananas,
crazy good. Being twin linked against units that are on an objective.
Still really good.
And then also this part's the one that I think makes it arguably worth taking over the Gladius Strike Force. You can move after shooting, just like an Eldar jet bike. Yeah. So you lose OBSEC. That's huge. You lose free vehicles. That's huge. But if you're playing White Scars on bikes, kind of like true to the fluff, this is pretty freaking good.
Yeah, I think this detachment, White Scars on bikes, is where it's at.
Yeah.
Like whoever wrote the rules for this definitely stayed true to the fluff, and I think this works really well with White Scar bikes.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, can you imagine being able to go up, shoot, and then fall back 2d6 inches? Yeah. Or never, I mean, essentially a rerollable hit and run. Yeah. If you're like with Khan's unit, you'll never, it's almost 100%. Yeah. And then with a normal unit, it's 8 and 9 that you pass. It's just, you're very, very rarely going to fail your hit and run. Yep. Some of the warlord traits, really good. +1 Jink, +1 or -1 to reserve rolls. Some great stuff. And some of the formations are extremely good too. Yeah. Right. There's some really, really good ones. They all revolve around bikes, and like the theme of White Scars, like you could choose enemy commanders and you got a hunt pack that goes to, try and kill them. Yeah. It's true to the fluff. But the one thing in there, the one thing that's crazy, that's going to be a game changer, is there's a relic. They have a lot of good relics, but the one that everyone is going to go lose their shit over is for 20 points, rumored indicated, that you get +1 ballistic skill and your whole unit gets ignore cover.
That's good.
It's the funny thing that indicates they just really don't realize how powerful something is when they underprice something. That should be like a 60, 70 point, 80 point
easily
relic.
Easily.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like 20 points. Are you kidding me? I mean, some of the other winners, they got a 12-inch Fleet and Furious Charge banner bubble.
Not bad.
Again, if you're on bikes, it's incredible. Yeah. There's a melee weapon that's extremely good. It goes up to strength 7, AP2 on the charge. Yep. With your Furious Charge goes up to strength 8, which is really good. But the ignores cover one, it's like, that is a game changer. That's going to change the meta because you take White Scars Centurions, throw a cheapo character in there or a chapter master or whatever you want, give him that. The whole unit ignores cover. You don't even need a librarian anymore.
Nope.
Don't even bother. You don't even have to worry about it because you've already automatically got the best power. And then if you're in like a Gladius Strike Force, like a battle company, you're going to get rerolls half the game anyway.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about the Psyker. I mean, you probably still want Drago to get Gate and to give you some counterattack, but it's just like every Centurion star player is just like, like you guys need anything. Laysai. Or imagine putting a Skyhammer Annihilation Force with 4 Grav Cannons and attaching a White Scar's character to them with that.
It's not half bad.
Kind of good.
Not half bad.
So that was stupid. That did not need to be in the game.
Nope.
And also, it should be dramatically more points. Here, Orcs pay 75 points
Ooh.
for 4+ custom force field, which also works on the enemy.
There you go. That's pretty good. Or what about the Astra Militarum? It's what, 40 points or 60 points for the
60.
field no paint? Or the preferred enemy.
6-inch preferred enemy level, 60 points. On a toughness 3 model, mind you.
Boom.
Yeah, or, oh god, anything from the Tyranid Codex. They have like a 60-point sword. It's like +1 strength or something garbage.
You're like, oh, thanks.
So it's just, I would say A+ on everything except for that. Because that is going to be the one thing that you see abused. It's going to go in every Death Star that is Imperial, and it's going to make them that much more obnoxious.
Every Centurion star.
I mean, just think about it. Just on a command squad of bikes with grav guns.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
God. I know, poor armies that rely on cover saves to
Like
survive.
Tyranids or anything like
Tyranids
that.
and Orcs just cry. They're just crying bitter tears.
Or the poor little Ghost Keel.
Oh, I know. It's so funny, the Ghost Keel looks like it's so rad. It's, I get Stealth and Shrouding that's doubled if I'm outside 12 inches.
Yeah.
And then I play another Tau player and just he who shoots first shoots last.
But that's why you take this bad boy. And he clears all those ignores cover out of the way.
Yeah, Tau on Tau is a funny game.
Yeah.
We all have great cover, but we ignore it. All right. Recently completed commission. We recently completed a tabletop standard Space Wolf army commission, and they look fantastic. Our tabletop standard is just a basic level. Very affordable. Looks great. As you're seeing the pictures right now, you can tell you're definitely getting more than your money's worth with the excellent paint job out of our paint studio.
Yep.
And this is a very affordable price. If you compare us to any other paint studios on the market, blow them away on price. So definitely check us out for your next painting commission. Go to frontlinegaming.org/painting.
Ooh.
List for review. We got a Gladius Strike Force, Ultramarines, Chapter Tactics.
Interesting.
All right, so we got a battle company. The first Demi company has an assault squad ×5 with 2 flamers and a drop pod with a captain, no upgrades. A 5-man Devastator squad with 2 grav cannons and a Rhino. 3 5-man tactical squads, 2 in drop pods, 1 in a Rhino. 1 has a grav cannon, the other 2 have plasma guns. The other Demi company has another assault squad ×5 with 2 flamers and a drop pod. Another grav Devastator squad and a Rhino. And another 3 tactical squads, all in drop pods. 2 have Milta, Combi Milta, and the other has a plasma gun. Lastly, we have the 3 units of 5 obligatory scouts that you need. And then there's an Inquisition detachment with a Kodiaz and a Xenos Inquisitor with Servo Skulls. Lastly, Ultramarines CAD with Sergeant Tellian and another scout squad with a drop pod and a Centurion Devastator squad. So this is an extremely good army. Really,
Yes.
not much do you need to say.
I mean, there's a lot of OBSEC. You've got... I'm interested in why you're taking plasma guns. That is my 2 cents. I like grav guns, melt guns.
I just mix it up, and with the Ultramarines Chapter Tactics, the whole game is going to be twin linked essentially. So
Yeah, that's true, and you can move and shoot and all that
Yeah.
stuff. I don't know. I'd switch out all the plasma for Melta, in my opinion. Melta is always really good, especially if you're playing against another battle company. Pop up in their vehicles, and then your Centurion unit can eat them alive. Kodiaz is great.
yeah, you slap them in there with the Centurions, obviously, and you give them psychic buffs, and the very, 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 very good. I've been expecting you.
Now, I would also take the extra points from switching out those plasma guns and throw an Auspex on the Chaplain and an Auspex on your Captain.
Always.
Because now you have 2 Auspexes, you can Auspex 2 units. That'd be super good.
Always. The
Or
Auspex
can they Auspex the same unit?
I
I can't remember.
I think it says if you've been hit by one or more Auspex.
Yeah, that might be.
I mean, the Auspex, again, is insanely, ridiculously underpriced for 5 points.
Yeah.
I mean, that single piece of war gear ruins the day for some armies. And there's no reason not to take it.
No. But that would be my changes. I definitely get some Auspexes in there because they're just retarded good.
Every character that can take an Auspex should.
Yeah.
They're just dumb. This is an army that could win a tournament. If you play it smart, very few people will be able to beat you.
Yeah.
It's really, really solid. I think the only thing you'll struggle with is true Death Stars because you don't have the ability to punch through them.
Nope.
And then what we've seen with Frankie in our games is sometimes like a flyer heavy army, a really hardcore Alpha Strike army can really give you trouble.
Yeah, or Knights. That's bad.
Especially the shooting knight. All right, everybody, those of you who are joining us live on Twitch, please jump in and fire off some questions. For those of you who are listening to us on iTunes, you can join us on Twitch live and interact with us via chat, and same goes for everybody on YouTube.
Yep.
And Rob Guy Day, yes, that is our tabletop standard. So you definitely get good value for your dollar on those paint jobs.
All right.
Orcs are OP. No, they're not. I know you're being funny, but that's totally fine.
Orcs are super overpowered, bro.
Totally. There was a delay on the chat coming through. All right. That White Scar Relic is 20 points. Adrenal Glands for a Nid monstrous creature is 15 points. Yeah. I know, it's ridiculous. that piece of war gear should be like closer to 80 points.
Yeah.
For what it gives you. It's insane. People take Tigerius just to get Ignor's cover, to hope to get it.
1473, do you think Kingdom Death, Corn Demonkin will have issues with the new Tau models? I don't think so.
If they go first, I think you'd generally be okay. Yeah, I don't know. Corn Demonkin, it's going to be largely a first-turn game, in my opinion.
Yeah, KDK likes to get into Assault, so if you make it to Assault, Tau's going to be crying a little bit. But
yeah.
I don't know. It depends if they have a couple Storm Surges. Storm Surges might be a nightmare for KDK. So.
Axis of Entropy. What other chapters can best leverage the new formations intended for Raven Guard? Obviously, White Scars. Yep. They're amazing. I think you can make them work with any chapter. Mm-hmm. Imperial Fist maybe the least effective.
Yeah.
But I really think the Raven Guard formations, especially those involving Assault Marines and such, really benefit from Raven Guard chapter tactics. Because the Raven Guard always get to reroll their charge roll. They can always use their jump pack and assault, so they're always getting their reroll Hammer of Wrath. They always can reroll the dice. It makes them extremely reliable.
Yeah.
But Ultramarines can be really good too. I mean, rerolling, getting the doctrines to reroll to hit and such could be very effective.
Yeah. E. Hegner, compared to Eldar, Krall, and Space Marines, how do you think the new Tau stack up? I haven't had enough games against or with the new Tau, so I can't really give you like a total estimate, but I think the Storm Surges are really going to shake up the meta. I think they're really good. I think you have to build your list around it. The Cadre Firebase Cadre is still incredible.
Yeah.
I don't think Tau really changed all that much. I think they have a few new units that will take them a little bit higher in the meta, but I don't know.
I think they're going to do exactly what they did.
Yeah.
They're going to be really good against certain armies and really bad against others. Like Frankie said, unless these formations and the Storm Surge have enough oomph to get them over that hump, they're still going to struggle as a true tournament army in the face of things like Thunderwolves and Screamer Stars. Anything that's a good invulnerable save, essentially, is going to really give them trouble.
Yeah.
Nova Star. So would the Raven Guard reroll missions work for the 2 Maelstroms rolled up at the beginning of every turn in the ITC format? I'm not going to answer that right now. We have to think about that and look at the implications.
Yeah.
And look at the wording of the rule. 1473. So do you think KDK? Oh, we already read that one. What is that? Gillette. SRK. Any thoughts on the new Tau Hunter contingent buff and how it will confer buff manners buffs to split fire gargantuan creatures? So, of course, instantaneously, people are looking at the rule for the new Tau Hunter Cadre, their Decurion style detachment. It says if multiple units fire at the same enemy unit at the same time. You fire as if they were one unit, and they go, oh, well, if buff commander is attached to one of those units, they all get the buff. No. So we don't need to go any further than that. His buffs affect his unit, so you don't get to fire your whole army with ignores cover, reroll to hit, tank hunter, monster hunter. No, come on, get out of here. That's ridiculous.
You just roll all the dice together and all that stuff.
Yeah, you resolve the shooting as if they shoot at the same time. Any individual buffs only apply to the unit that's buffed. It's the same, beyond the fact that would be ridiculously stupid. I don't think that's what the word says or implies. And also, it's the same thing we did with like Skyhammer Annihilation Force. Like, no, you can't attach a million characters to these little 5-man units of assault range and assault from reserves turn 1.
Yeah.
No, it's dumb. So I do understand how people could come to that looking at the rule, but don't even attempt it.
Cuddly Piggy, so do you think the new Raven Wing formations will make them good in competitive play?
Absolutely.
Do you mean Raven Wing, or you mean Raven Guard, right?
Raven Guard?
Yeah.
Yeah, he must. Absolutely.
Oh, definitely. I think Raven Guard would be great.
Yeah, I mean, just think about being able to null deploy your whole army and then having them come on turn 1. Like, think about how powerful that is. You can literally wait to see the game start, and then, because all your units have scout, infiltrate, they can deep strike. You could literally put your army anywhere on the table where you need them to get the most good. I think they're going to be incredibly good.
Le Rise, there any reason to give a Tau commander a Cold Star battlesuit? Is that the one that makes him fly?
Yeah.
I mean, if you want him to fly around and blow up vehicles, then yeah. He gives you another like AA unit, I guess. I think he gets Skyfire. I would think so. Maybe not. But to be honest, you probably won't be seeing it all that often.
Yeah, it'll be, again, like mathematically, making a whole unit ignore cover and reroll and everything, it's just better. You get more bang, it's more powerful.
Yeah.
And then again, I'm so disappointed that it's still stupid interceptors 5 points.
Yep.
God. I mean, big Tau good at interceptor, but don't make it so that armies that rely on reserves just get smacked in the face.
Yeah.
You know, I would have rather have seen Tau get better against things that they're weak against, like make them really good, like give them tools to fight Death Stars, and tone them down a little bit in those things that they're like really, really powerful at. I think it'd be more fun for the Tau player and everybody else too, but Zombie Scotty, can you put a dedicated transport in reserve but deploy the troops on turn 1? Yes. And you can do the opposite as well. DKO Xylophone. From the rumors, it looks like it is exactly that. The Tau Codex is just the old book with new stuff slapped in it.
Yep. AK Shell, do you think a 3-man unit of Crisis Suits with a buff Mandarin and Kroot would be a good ally for Necrons?
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, the buff Mandarin and Suits are great at popping open vehicles.
Yep. One of the things that worked great last edition, and of course it'll still work great from the rumors indicating that it hasn't changed, is you take buff Mandarin with a unit of Crisis Suits with each one having a target lock, if I remember correctly, and they can each shoot a different unit. It's crazy. So like if you're fighting Battle Company and you're having trouble with it,
yeah,
each one of your suits could have double missile pods with, you know, twin linked, ignoring cover, tank hunter, and it's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
You're just like,
you're like, all right, that's fun. Shane Plays would like to have you guys on my live Geek Talk radio show.
Terrestrial radio.
Terrestrial radio out of Little Rock. Interested?
Yeah,
of course.
man. Of course. That
Send
sounds
us
cool.
an email. We'd definitely be interested.
All right, 1473. You guys think Bloodletter spam with banners, deep striking with soul grinders and bloodthirsters behind them would be good? I've actually considered doing Bloodletter spam. I think it'd be really fun.
Yeah.
Just that T3 is just T3 with a 5-up save, even if it is an invulnerable save. Oh, they die so fast. A squad of Space Marines just farts in their general direction and they're like, gone. If you're going to do that, I would recommend taking the formation where they recycle.
Yeah. Taranga, I'd like to hear your perspective on FLG's charging for game space / time in a major urban center.
When local game stores charge to play on the tables, yeah, I
don't understand it.
I don't think it's a viable business model because like how much money are you really going to make? And really, you're doing is you're pissing off your customers.
Yeah, like they're just gonna be pissed. They won't come in. They'll be like, "Oh, this game store charges me to come in and play games. Unacceptable." So
what we've seen work from other stores is that you pay like, say it's like a league night.
Yeah.
You pay $5 to play in the league night, but it's store credit.
Yeah, and it's usually like a week or no, it's usually like a month-long league.
Yeah. So at the end of the league, you have $20 store credit.
Yeah.
And I think that's cool because, I mean, you're probably going to spend the money at the hobby store anyway.
Yeah.
And it's guaranteed sales because from the hobby owners, the store owner's perspective, they get really frustrated when people come in and play and don't buy anything. Completely fair because they're paying rent, they're taking all the risk, they're spending all the time running the store. And if someone comes in and plays but never buys anything, it is very disrespectful, and I get it.
Yeah.
And like, you don't have to buy everything at the store. Like if you want to save money and buy stuff online, like from us, that's cool. But then you should also spend some money at your local game store so that you help to keep them open.
Yeah, whether it's go to tournaments and pay the
entry fee
and stuff like that. Like all that stuff really helps out game stores. So yeah,
Gillette SRK, I get it. He says you resolve the shooting as if they're the same unit, but if you think anybody is that is insane. You take the whole army and benefit from buff Mander. Like literally. I get it, but that's not going to fly. So I'm sorry if you're disappointed with that. But anytime we come across something very extreme like this, it's X-nay. We've been fair in the application of this across the board, but no. Yeah, this is not going to happen in any way, shape, or form.
They all form to make Voltron.
Well, it's just because the rule does say, like, okay, multiple
definitely.
units fire at the same target, you resolve it if it's the same unit. I get it. I get it. Like, if you had some buff on one unit, it applies to all of the units. I get you could read that. I totally understand how you can get that from the language. But, I mean, think about it, really. Like, think about it from a fairness perspective. Think about it from the enjoyment of your opponent effective. Like, my whole army is ignoring cover, twin-linked, monster hunter, tank hunter. Cool. And I don't think that was the intent. You just shoot them at the same time at the same unit.
Yeah. Day 1916. Do you think the new ignores cover relic for White Scars will shake up the recently discovered Thunderwolf
Yes.
success? Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
Unfortunately, that unit is going to be a blip on the radar. They'll still win most of the games. Like if you bring that army to a tournament, you'll win more games than you lose. But right now, with the proliferation of ignores cover, the secret sauce to that army, the rerollable cover save is gone. You're better off just taking an old school Wolfstar with all storm shields and trying to buff them up to a 2+ invulnerable save.
Yeah.
Would feel no pain.
All right, guys. Well, that's all we got. Thank you very much for tuning in. Make sure to tune in tomorrow for the live game, 7 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time, to get your ghost keel, bro. We got this giveaway.
Yeah. Make sure to join us. It's going to be a great game. We're going to have live commentation. It's going to be really fun. Hope you guys join us.
Yep.
And thank you guys so much for tuning in. We appreciate the feedback. Bye.
Adios.